Valentine's Day. That's right. Truly, it is Valentine's Day. 2026. I think I better change this out. Michael Nelson is officially live. Hear ye, in the year of our Lord, February 14th, 2026. Cupid is running loose, but he still hasn't showed up at my doorstep. Ah! Hi, Miranda. How are you? Miranda Lee. I gotta get some paper towels and put them on my rack and roof. Oh my gosh, Miranda, I did a deep cleaning today. I tore up my bedroom, moved the furniture, swept all the dust bunnies out, did a bleach mop, cleaned the bathroom, did some painting on the window in the kitchen. I changed the color to the outside red. Oh, I hate it when they put that glue on the towels so it sticks so bad. That's dumb. Nikki! It doesn't really. I'm okay. Hello, Spencer. How are you? Welcome to live chat. A little something for everybody. How do y'all like my flea market shirt, man? $5. Try that in a small town. I love it. Excuse me. Miranda Lee, happy Valentine's Day to you too. Y'all my hearts. Thank you. I love the colors, man. Got the little tiger stripe or... No, what is that? That's not tiger. What is that? Leopard. Something. Gotta get my animals straight. I like the colors in it. Thank you, ladies. So, yeah, it's clouding up. It's supposed to be rainy tomorrow, but today I got off of my butt. I went to the store. I went and got my taxes done, and thankfully, I got a little something coming back. And Georgia didn't soak me this year like last year. And I like that tax guy, Asian guy. He's very good at what he does, and he works full-time at Amazon and does overtime, and then he works at the tax place. He just works. He said, I work 7 days a week. I said, man, do you ever rest? He goes, oh, sometimes. Asian people are very disciplined. It just amazes me. I'm not going to work on the weekends. Monday through Friday is enough. I don't do the 2-job, 3-job thing. Not my thing. You got to have decompression time, man. And the last weeks, you know, I had the school holidays and I'd get a lot of projects done. And today, I changed the window color and that. I did the house red on there because I think, why not have a little outside color accent? I like that better than that pink. That reddish pink just didn't look good. I like the darker, mature color. That goes better with the wood. So, what is going on in the chat? It froze again. I hate it when it does that. I cleaned up my bedroom. I'm planning on sitting in chat for a while, so... And didn't have time off. Yeah. Well, I got the weekends. But when I was with the schools, they had holidays. They had a holiday. Yesterday was a holiday. Monday and Tuesday is a holiday. They got holidays every month. Man, I remember in school you had 2 days off for Thanksgiving. Now it's a whole week. Now they have fall break, which is almost a whole week. They only 180 days. No offense. Oh, that's right. You work 7 days a week. On the road again. So, Nikki, ladies, what do you think? I like that color better than that pinkish red. That goes better with the woodwork. Brings a little of the outside of the house in. I'm going to do a second coat, but this looks better. Plus, it's got a little gloss on it so you can wipe it down. But I like that. I got to do a little light sanding and fix this. Some idiot nailed through this. So stupid. Why would you nail through that? This one is nice, and that one looks like HE double hockey sticks. See if we can get the light on that. Look at that. Holes in there. I mean, so stupid. I might be able to wood putty that, maybe. Yeah, Chris, thank you. Hey, Minnie, how are you? And thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. It's the day of love. I have to tell you all something. It's going to shock you that I say this because I do give a lot of bad news. I don't know what was going on today, but women were looking at me today and smiling. I went to the flea market and women were smiling, and one lady was selling all her scented oils and stuff, and black woman, and she says, hey, I said, hey, and she goes, wow, you look great. She goes, I love your ensemble, and the picture that I posted on my post. I said, well, thank you for that. I just do interesting style. She goes, no, you look like Kevin Bacon strutting through here. I said, I wish I had Kevin Bacon's income. And she goes, you and me too. And she looked at me so sweetly and said, Happy Valentine's Day. I couldn't help but wonder if there were women out there wondering, it's Valentine's Day and I don't have a date. I was tempted. I was tempted to say, well, Happy Valentine's Day. Do you got a Valentine? I thought I should have just taken somebody to dinner and said, hey, I don't know you, but let's go to dinner. Nobody should be alone on Valentine's. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, call it a friendship. Hi, Elizabeth. I love it when I clean my house like that. It smells so good. I use bleach, folks. I don't play around. I use bleach or pine salt, but I use bleach most of the time, because I know it kills germs, and I like it. I like the satisfying feeling knowing a deep clean. I mopped the cement in my room and the kitchen, the hall. I did the dining room and the bathroom. Took an Epsom salt, got my Epsom salts today. Oh, I cannot believe that stuff. It is amazing. That stuff cleans your drains out. Thank you, Liz. I found this today at the flea market. It's an older lady. And she goes, thank you for being a good customer. I said, lady, you got the best clothes and the best prices. I tell you what, she's fun. And I bought 2 work shirts. I am getting rid of all the 50-50 stuff. I'm done with that stuff. If I was in the cold, I could wear it. But here, I'm telling you, ladies, I'm not a stinky guy. You know, if I sweat all day and don't take a bath, I will be. But the shirts that are 50-50 or got any of that polyester, I mean, I just sweat the first 5 minutes of the morning and you're like, who made polyester? That stuff is nasty. It is not made for human sweat. Can you imagine the 70s and the disco era going into a disco place and all the people wearing polyester and the funk that had to smell? Woo, baby. No, thank you. So I'm going to all cotton on work shirts. All cotton. It's getting harder to find. They're trying to push all that blended crap. There's no point in having 50% cotton in it. There's just no point. It's going to stink. Crazy people. Crazy, crazy, crazy people. Why is the chat keep freezing? That is so stupid. All right, where are my can of olives? Bought me some olives. Pitted medium black ripe olives. Gotta have them. There we go. We had tickled deodorant. Hey, caveman, I'll tell you what. I was talking to E-Rock today. He lived in upstate New York, and the Amish, very prevalent up there. I did not know that. And he was saying that some of the Amish women are really pretty, but he said the Amish stink. They smell. They don't believe in using deodorant, the men or the women. They bathe, but they don't put anything on to deal with the odor. Linen is superior to cotton. Yeah, but can you do linen in clothing? Imagine wearing wool shirts. Wool undershirts. Boy, that'd feel real good. Scratchy, scratchy, itchy, itchy. I remember when I was a kid, they had those army blankets with the red and the green and yellow stripe. Those were great, but you had to have a blanket under that between you and it, because that stuff. All right, ladies. Anybody want an olive? I could eat a whole can of these. I thank God for a good Saturday. It's been a while. Olives are the best. I don't like the green pimento ones. I gotta stop. And we'll wipe it out in less than 3 minutes. Oh my gosh. I bought this at Food Lion the other day. Yeah. That is the bomb. This stuff is the best juice. Or no, I did not. I got it at Aldi's. I should have bought out the whole shelf. That is good mango passion fruit. Oh, baby. It's Valentine's Day and I'm drinking passion fruit juice. Watch out, America. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the women were smiling at me because of passion fruit. Yeah, Elizabeth, it's really wild. I was talking to Iraq, and they want people to drive them. They don't believe in having motorized transportation, but yet they will ride the train. They will ride and pay for somebody to drive them out of state. They don't want you playing music in your vehicle, even though you're driving them. Hey, Chris, do you remember Grandma used to have chenille blankets? Oh, man, now those were nice. Do they even make those anymore? Chenille blankets. Really? So you're in Maryland, Elizabeth? Or you're North Carolina? Wait a minute, where are you again? I'm going to run out of juice fast. That stuff is addicting. That is the best stuff. Ladies, I know you've heard of chenille. They were the blankets, had those little flat, like the material, they'd sew into it. It like woven, and they had the little flowers on it. Not of color, just of white. I can't remember. Oh, Pennsylvania. Mango Passion. Aldi's has it. And then I went and binged on my cashews yesterday. I do not. I like salt, but the problem with nuts, they oversalt them, so I get the saltless. I get canker sores if I eat salted stuff. I can put salt in my food, but chips or anything, they got too much. Hey, Patricia, how are you? Dana, hello and welcome again. How's everybody's Saturday going? I actually talked to Nikki a little bit on the phone. Nikki she went for a good walk today. Oh, gotcha, Elizabeth. Peterborough, Ontario. How's the weather up there? You still buried in the snow, or is it decent? Man, I remember a couple years ago that Ontario was getting blasted with back-to-back snowstorms. When I was on Facebook, I messaged a lot of Canadians because they were just getting blasted with snow. How far are you from Montreal? Or as a French guy told me, Montreal. I had a French guy named Richard in Denver, and he was from Montreal, and he told me, it's not Montreal, Michael, it's Montreal. I said, really? All my life I was told it was Montreal. Oh, you're near Toronto? No French. Got you. I know 50 degrees is a heat wave for you, Nikki. I know Bob was telling me it was really cold. That's right. That's right. Got to get my geography straight. I'm trying to remember. I lived in Duluth, Minnesota. Isn't Manitoba above Minnesota? And then Ontario is east of that. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, Ontario has, I gotta get this straight. Oshawa. Montreal is 8 hours away. So, hold on, let me get my map. You'd think I'd know this, but I don't. I've always liked Canada's national anthem. It's beautiful. I love the maple leaf. I remember when I moved to Duluth, Minnesota years ago, it was a maple tree. I lived in an eightplex, an 1890s apartment building. And in the backyard is a big, beautiful maple. And I grabbed one of the leaves and I put it in my then scrapbook. And it always reminded me of Canada. Canada. Yeah, Manitoba. Manitoba's above Minnesota. Ontario's right on the northeastern tip of Minnesota. I gotta look at where you are. Past the Great Lakes. Wait a minute, Toronto? Toronto's on the Great Lakes. Hold on, let me get my bearings here. They're calling for rain past Buffalo. Let me get into the breakdown maps. That gives me the whole of Canada. Let me get over here to Ontario. Look at Lake Winnipeg. Man, I have no idea that thing was that big. Lake Winnipeg. Da 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 da. Oh my gosh. Now, wait a minute. You're not in Quebec. I'm in the wrong map. I'll get it straight. That is, what is this? Oh, Toronto, the city. Man, that's huge too. Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Where is the rest of Ontario? Did they just cut it out or what? Lake Superior. All right, I'm confused. This is weird. You got to be in Quebec. Because it's not... Hold on. You're past Lake Ontario. All right. Are you by Ottawa? No, because that's not 8 hours. That's close. Give me a big place. You're south of Ottawa. Give me a big place that I can reference. I'm trying to find you. I like looking at the map. Hey, Blob, how are you? Before Ottawa, Nepean, Smith Falls, Merrickville, Perth. I need help. I'm trying to find you. I cannot find Oshawa. Look, they got Oompa. They should have had another O. It could be Oompa. Oompa Loompa. South Oshawa has, what's GM? Oh, that sucks, Blob. East of Toronto. Wait a minute. East of Toronto. All right, Petersboro. You must be in a tiny, 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 tiny place. Hi, Paul. How are you? Oh, there's Oshawa. Wait a minute. It's on Lake Ontario. You said past the Great Lakes. Wait a minute. 850,000 Bob. Where are you? Yeah, I don't know where General Motors is. That's the only problem. You got to realize the only part of Canada I've been to is, it would have been International Falls in Manitoba. Hi, Liz. How's she doing, Paul? Leave Oshawa. Which way do I go? North? You can't go south or you're in the lake. Bowmanville. That's good, Paul. I'm glad she's improved. That's awesome. Norwood, Havelock, Buckhorn, Burleigh Falls. Give me something. What's the name of the place? Brighton, Hordes, Foxborough, Trent River, Marmora. That's kind of like in the country. Man, I had no idea Toronto was huge. Past Bowmanville near Havelock. All right, let me take off my glasses. I just saw Havelock. Oshawa. Past Bowmanville. Havelock. Where's Bowmanville now? Good grief, I can't. Oh, there it is. Havelock is north of Petersboro. Before Havelock on Highway 7 East. All right, let me see. I have to look at this fine print, and my glasses just... There's 7. So you're in the country. Hey, Sierra, we were just talking about you. How are you? How are things? Are things better? I hear on Sunday if I get to keep my job. Wow, they've been dilly-dallying with you. Trent University, Trent 7. So you're not in the country. Okay, wait a minute. It shows Trent River. 7 is weird because it shows 7 right over Belmont Lake, and there's no highway. It just shows a river. Where the heck is the road? What's that red one right there? Oh, that is 7. Okay, that's the highway. Trent River. Are you by Marmora? Man, Sierra, I'm sorry. Trent University, Trent, 7. Okay. Either I just can't see it or it's not on the map. See, I can read the map. In the U.S., these little towns just seem like they're way out there, but it must be densely populated. All I see is Trent River. I don't see. But you're 8 hours from Ottawa or Montreal. I can't find it. I can't even see Trent. Other than Trent River, I can't find it. Yeah, I do too. They sure put you on hold long enough. That's crazy. Have you been looking for other work, Sierra? At this point, I'd just be applying. Oh, me, Lakefield. Yeah, I'm going up 7. I don't see it. Those places are either too small. They're not showing up. Why is an 850,000 city not showing up? It's not on here. That doesn't make sense. No, now you're back to Oshawa. Now you're going back the other way. I'm confused, Patricia. You got me going in a goose chase. Havelock is away from Oshawa. It's north and east. Up 7. I give up. I can't find it. I'm not sure where you're going. I'm trying to find the place Patricia lives, and I can't. It's in Ontario. She's saying it's by Oshawa, but I don't see any Trent University, Trent, anything. There's nothing near Bowmanville, nothing. There is no Trent. And if you take Highway 7, the only Trent is Trent River, a town. Then it goes Marmora, Madoc. You go further out east, it's Arden, Maberly. Yeah, there's nothing. I'm following 7. There is none. I can't even find it. I'd get lost up there real fast. The boy who fought. Trent University is Petersboro, which is south of Havelock and Norwood. Okay, I found Petersboro. Usually it'll have a university in small type down here. It's not even in there. Well, I asked for Petersboro. So Trent University is in Petersboro. No, I didn't ban you. No, sometimes I don't turn on the chat. Oh, it's in the city. Oh, Patricia, you got me going around in circles. Dang you. Don't ask you for directions. You'd have me driving 800 miles to find your place. Yeah, but you told me to go up Highway 7. You said east of there. It must not be. It must be like a college. You said this place is 850,000. What's 850,000 people? What town? Oshawa? Boy, that's densely populated. Further below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November. Remembered 85,000. Got you. My map is too small. It is. It's tiny. They chunked out on the Canada section. Got it, Jennifer. Thank you. Jennifer, are you up there too? I like Canada people. I always have. They're nice folks. We never hear anything in the news about Canada. The only time I heard the news was Justin Trudeau, and I could not stand that guy. Oh my gosh, I think a lot of Canadians are with me on that. He was definitely a mess. All right, I think my noodles are done. I think tonight we're going to skip the tuna, do peas and carrots, and do the rice mess. That's what we'll do. Forgive me, I'm fixing my grub. I noticed that, Jennifer. So are you in the city of Petersburg? Oh no, I know they made cars. Didn't back in the 70s and 80s, they had GMC pickup trucks and Chevy pickup trucks, and somebody said the GMC were made in Canada and the Chevys were made here. Is that true? But I knew that they had a plant up there. I did know that. I know that they had a division of GM up there. Some people are just ignorant. Good night. I know Canada also makes school buses. I think Bluebird School Bus has a division up there. We got one in Georgia. I used to go to the Ward School Bus factory and get school buses back in the 90s in Little Rock, Arkansas. My son's migrating to Vancouver. Wow. Windsor, Ontario, in Quebec is Is it Bombardier? Yeah, Jennifer. Dodge, Ram, Toyota, Nissan. Really? Yeah, you know what's funny is Japan was making all those and then they farmed stuff out over here. It's kind of a trip what's happened with all of that. Good old Toyota. They ought to have a pickup truck called the all-new Canuck and made like a real truck. Now that would sell. Was U.S. production and GM was... Oh, okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Nickel mines. You know, up in Thunder Bay, I never made it up there, but I was told there's some big amethyst mines up there. That's cool. Yeah, I like the cool stuff. I would love to go to Amethyst Mine. Sudbury, Timmins, Shania Twain from there. Bieber from Stratford. Hey, Hollywood, Beverly Hills years ago started a petition demanding he go back to Canada. They were getting tired of him. I heard that, I'm like, wow. Justin Bieber was like getting in trouble and annoying the neighbors or something. I don't know what was going on. The stress among Hollywood elites fascinates me. Their problems are definitely not my problems. I don't live in that bubble. Sudbury. KWR, you're in Canada too? I love having all you northerners in here. That's awesome. Tonight, just mac and cheese, some seasoned brown rice. I buy the Annie's pasta with no wheat flour. It's made of rice flour. This stuff's pretty good. And I bought these. This is pretty good. This stuff is not bad. This stuff is seasoned long grain and wild rice. All you do is mash it up. This stuff is easy. I need to get out my rice cooker. I'm so lazy. I have it in my closet, brand new, and I've never used it. And I got one because when I was in Hong Kong, the Filipinos would have them. And they would have them in the flat. And you always had rice, always, and that was awesome. You'd come in and just pop the top of it and get rice. It was very cool. Yes, I'm one of those. I wash my dishes as I go. I'm not a big pile in the sink kind of a guy. And I eat out of my pot because I don't put it on the dish because I live alone. Oh my gosh, I got yelled at for that when I was in Hong Kong. I rented from a lady who rented a flat on Lantau Island in Moi Wah. And Kate was a Filipina, and she come out of her bedroom. I rented a room. She had another room in the place. And I was eating my oatmeal out of a saucepan. My gal, what you do that for? You look like caveman. Go put it in a bowl. And I said, Kate, I just eat out of the pot and I wash the pot and go. Yeah, but Michael, I have a big window. People look and they think caveman living in my house. You put it in a bowl. Yes, man. She was younger than me and she was talking to me like she's my mama. That's so funny. So I go to the kitchen. So I usually left before she woke up to go to Hong Kong, and I'd catch the ferry. And oh my gosh, that was funny. So she was still asleep. I'd stand in the kitchen, eat out of the pot. And if she was coming, I'd have a bowl right there and I'd slop it in there real quick. You know what? If I get my signals crossed one more time, I'm going to drag myself in. Hi, Pond. Oh my gosh. Pond is awesome. She got icicles on her eaves in Pennsylvania. She sent me a picture the other day. She's all cold up there in good old Pennsylvania. Might need to send some of us up there to warm her up. Pond. Pond, look at my shirt that I got at the flea market. Is this loud or what? I love this. The colors are just awesome. Oh, see, I get stupid. I feel sorry for that one little pea. Nope. You gotta come out. Can't go in the trash. Oh yeah, I put on Hooked on Classics. I filled the tub with hot water, put the Epsom salt in there, lay down, and I'm sitting in there imagining being on the deck of the Titanic or something. I was thinking of writing a bizarre story. I go to sleep in my room one night. Thank you, Pond. Yeah, you guys got an ice storm? Sarah, I'm glad you're here. They were asked, people are praying for you, and we do care. I hope your job thing gets resolved. It sounds like they're doing the same thing to you that they did to me. Delay, delay, delay. How long does it take to investigate a stupid he said, she said? That's so dumb. Dumb. I tell you, society's so ridiculous. And people can lie. They can absolutely lie about you, and, you know, people believe them, and stupid. For those of you that don't know, Sierra was accused of threatening another employee who had a job and she hadn't done it. And Sierra's boyfriend, roommate, is dating the girl at Walmart that claims Sierra threatened her. Did you, Sierra, did you block him? I hope you did, because that whole thing was crazy. Oh, I'll tell you, Chance. So, I had this wild idea. I love the Titanic. And I thought I would have my mullet, and it'd be longer than it was. I go to sleep in my room, and then I hear something, and I wake up. And when I come to, I'm like, where the heck am I? And it's not my room, and I feel movement, and I hear sounds, and I'm like, where's the dang light switch? And I get up and fumble around and bump into stuff, and when I finally find a light, I'm like, what the heck? This is a first-class stateroom on the Titanic. Where, you know, what the heck? Open the door and look down the hallway, and there's people in Victorian-style clothing and dressed to the nines, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna go good. And the minute I walk down that corridor, everybody's looking at me. Straight from 2026 with my clothing, of course, dressed for colder weather. Yes. Walk out with a chain around my neck and a mullet, and these first-class people going, what is that? I have a first-class stateroom. Mind your own business, chap. I'd have to pick up on some British real quick. Who are you? I am Michael Nelson. Can you imagine the crew? White Star crew come up. I don't believe I saw you board. I have my ticket in my cabin. JP Morgan canceled his voyage, and the office sold it to me. So I got on at the last minute. It says Michael Nelson. Okay. Who are you? Wouldn't you like to know? You ever heard of the movie 2026? By the way, you know this old tub's gonna sink, right? I looked out the window and there was horses and dirt. Pond, it'd be awesome, though. I would love to write this fanciful story, and I meet this Victorian lady who's prim and proper, but drop dead gorgeous, but she can't take her eyes off of me. She's like, okay, I have never seen this. So, Michael, let me suffice it to say your hair is rather interesting. Oh, yes. I've been always told about my hair. Where are you from? Well, originally from Los Angeles. Los Angeles? Yeah. You know, 1966. Do a totally different twist to Jack and Rose, except more proper. And I go into the ballroom and I go to dance and I look at her and the classical music plays and it's... I said, you know, I've never danced this before, but I have grown up hearing this music. Oh, really? So you're cultured? Well, I guess so. I lived in Hong Kong. Hong Kong? Oh my gosh, it would be so funny to be able to bring today back to there and watch people just lose their minds. And Captain comes down to meet people for dinner and he's like, I told her, did you see that man over there? What on earth? And that hair. Are you sure he's not a beast? I think it'd be fun. And then I tell her, I get to know her, and she says, it's very improper for me to tell you this, Mr. Nelson, but I think I'm falling in love. Are you sure you want to fall in love with me? I'm very ahead of my time, ma'am. I can see that. Well, you might want to sit down. I have a story to tell you. I wasn't born this time. I was born in 1966. How can you be born in 1966 and here? I said, I don't know. I went to bed in my house in Georgia and I ended up in J.P. Morgan's canceled cabin. You tell me. Boy, that'd be fun. Now, I know I've already assaulted your senses, but this ship is going to sink. Michael, you can't be serious. It's unsinkable. I know. That's what I read when I was a child. Let me show you my phone. Phone? Yeah, let me show you. I still have a charge. This is what it looks like. And she looks at the picture. That is going to happen to the ship. Yeah, that's... When it sinks, it's like 2.5 miles to the bottom. So, are we going to die? No, you're not. I'm not. But it's not going to be pretty. You and I are going to survive. And when we get to the other side, I'll be bringing you into my today. Wouldn't that be fun? I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny. Yes, Pond, it would be funny. I mean, it'd just be to watch the British snobs look at me. And I would not be anything like Jack. Jack was a ruffian. It'd be interesting to see how Molly Brown treated me, being from Colorado. She said one rude comment. I said, yeah, you Colorado women never were very nice. How do you know about Colorado? I lived there, lady. And nothing's changed. I know one thing. If I saw Bruce Ismay step into that lifeboat, I would rush at him and say, get out of the way, you old fool. Who are you? You don't need to know, but you are not getting in that boat ahead of women and children. Oh my gosh. Your aunt lives in Colorado? Wow. I didn't like Colorado. Colorado's beautiful. I'm very sensitive to things. I always have been. And when I became a Christian, that sensitivity has made me very aware of other things. And when I was out in Colorado, I just always had a feel that Colorado was it's something about the sky out there. I never liked Colorado. I just didn't feel it. I don't feel that way about Georgia. I liked Duluth when I was there. I wouldn't go there now with all of the politics, but I liked Lake Superior and the Great Lakes. And I met a lot of good people up there, but that was the 90s. Captain Edward J. Smith, Paul. Hello, Tunga. I like that name, Tunga. That's cool. That seasoned rice really, these things, just look at this. Bachelor goulash, ladies. Hi, Tina. Tunga, where are you from? I have my ticket in my cabin, JP. No, JP Morgan didn't sell it. He canceled. And the office down where you go to get down on the ship, I ran up and said, I need a passage. Pond, that'd be awesome. Pond is the one that she put the teapot. I did this short. She sent me a video. She is so funny. I love her humor. She did the teapot. She put it in the dishwasher, and it sprayed the silver metal coating off of what looks like copper. And she says, "Who makes this crap?" I said, I gotta upload that. That's awesome. Pond, thank you. I wish I could have done something bigger. No, not for an ego. Actually, it was EJ, Captain EJ Smith. According to the historical reaccounts of what I read, hey, Fred Hinkle, could you imagine me talking in today's vernacular on the Titanic? And when the thing starts to sink, I'd be grabbing some piece of furniture out of a room on the upper deck. What are you doing? There's not enough boats, clowns. I'm getting something to sit on. That water's cold. I really don't feel like jumping in the water. But if I have to, I want to hold on to something that I can float on. Then they shake their head and walk off. 1912 idiots. I think it'd be funny. Fred, it would be funny. I think it'd be funny. I'd be looking in the distance with the woman standing at my side, and she goes, "Michael, those are lights." Yeah, that's the California. They've turned off the engines. How do you know this? I read the book. They have no idea we're sinking over here. You're kidding me. I said, no. If they were to come over here, they could take all of us on board. That will be brought out in the court later on. What's going to happen to us? I'm going to make sure you get your butt in the boat, and I will be meeting you on the Carpathia. The Carpathia, yeah, it's the only ship that's going to respond. It's going to take about 4 hours after it sinks to get here. You guys saw the padlock that E-Rock bought me, right? It's a reproduction made in the same manner, not one of those hokey bric-a-brac ones. Even had wax paper around it. I put it back on the wax paper. That's so it doesn't rust. I'm like, that's a keepsake. Hi, Colette. Yep, Hallie, happy Valentine's Day. Yes, Colette. I love that. Everything that any of you guys have given to me has been a gift. Maple Leaf forever. Absolutely, Patricia. I'm not scared to get on a ship. I do know how to swim. Two things I don't like. The water temperature being extremely cold, or the idea of being in shark-infested waters does not appeal to me. I could keep myself afloat for a while. If the ocean is calm and there's no sharks, I could dog paddle for hours. You just sit here and do this all day. As long as you got a life preserver on and you got buoyancy, you don't even need to paddle. You just float around. If the water was warm, I'd probably be singing and acting stupid. People are like, boy, what's the matter with you? Trying to keep my spirits up. Shut up. I'm a shark. Yes, Fred. Oh, good. I wonder if I could get a room in there. It'd make a lovely B&B. They said that back then. Harold Bright and Jack Phillips were the two radio men in the wireless shack. Up between the first, was it the first and second smokestack, or between the bridge and the first smokestack? The radio room. And they ran the Marconi wireless headset. And they were like two young chaps, and they would sit there. It was a hobby, but they did get paid. And they sit there, and the millionaires on the ship would come up and pay them to send messages through the telegraph that would bounce off of Nova Scotia and hit down or Newfoundland or whatever, and then they'd transfer them down to New York by the wire. It was a novelty. So John Jacob Astor would say, I'm on the Titanic, I should be there in 4 days, and when we do, we'll conduct business, full stop, and do that. And while they're transmitting these messages, other ships were sending ice warnings, because it was normal for other ships to look out for everybody. The Virginia sent a message, ice, this, and I can't remember if it was Harold Jack, and he types in, shut up, I'm working Cape Race. Oh, excuse me. We're trying to send the most beautiful liner an ice warning, and you're too busy sending messages. Nice, jackass. Oh, I love whales. I love the sounds they make. Those clicks. The noises are fascinating and haunting. ELO has a song with whale sounds in it. Submarine sonar messes with them. I like big creatures like that, and I very much am for respect. I've never seen a whale. I went on a whale watching trip as a field trip in 4th grade. We went on the Los Angeles Unified School District school bus from Walteria Elementary down to the port on the Pacific Ocean, and I got to ride on a whale watching ship. We did not see a whale at all. The funnest part of that trip was when I walked downstairs, went out a door to the bow where all the ropes and anchors and stuff are, and the kids were up by the bow, and the wind was blowing and the spray was splashing up and soaking everybody, and they thought that was fun. Hello, Nicole. Rheostatics, they are banned from Canada. No, I haven't. I know what a rheostat is. It's actually what is in the gas pedals of vehicles today. When I was a kid, the gas pedal was attached to a cable that pulled on the carburetor and injected the fuel and all that. Now it's a rheostat, which is basically an electronic device that sends a signal for the injectors to squirt gas. I have been fascinated by giant squid. The sperm whales have huge suction cup marks, scars on their head because they eat them. Mac and cheese, peas and carrots, and seasoned rice. Nicole? Jennifer, I need to write that down because that sounds like something I would love. When I lived in Duluth, the Great Lakes, 30s, 40s, had small liners on the lakes, Great Lake passenger ships. And they did voyages. All right, let me think of the one. Jennifer would know about this. The Huronic burned, was it in Montreal? Caught fire, bad fire. Yes, Nicole, it's good. But they had small steamships. And one of the greatest disasters on the Great Lake, no, I believe he and his wife are having lovey-dovey date night. And I told him, that's a good thing. But the Eastland disaster, most people don't know about. It happened at the dock in Chicago. The Eastland it was a Sunday. People get out of church and they get on, apparently Lake Michigan had some islands. I didn't know that. And they get on these small steamers. This was not a ship with cabins and everything. It was basically an excursion ship. And the people crowded on the upper decks, and there was so much top heaviness to the ship, and hundreds of people started storming in there, and the thing literally went 895 dead. The ship just keeled over, stuck in the harbor. A terrible disaster. Spangle. Bond. Where do you come up with this stuff? Spangle. I'm trying to get a fire under Pond's butt. She has artistic abilities. She needs to get it fired up again. Jennifer, I have to go get a pen and my notepad and write that down. Because if I don't, I'll forget. I want to look that up. No one can stop you now. Tonight you're on the loose. Jennifer and Patricia Saga was out of Canada. Loved it. The Rio Statics. You said Great Lakes Sweets. Now that is enticing to me. I love classical and I love music that moves me. Thank you, Derek. This was given to me by a banker, a black woman. She had it on her neck. I said, I like your little. She take it off. She goes, wear it. I said, I don't want to take your necklace. She goes, no. She goes, it looks good on you. And today's the first day I wore it. She gave that to me a year ago. It was very hard for me to do it because my fingers are too big. It's very dainty. Oh, Jennifer, I love that song On the Loose. That is my theme song. Years ago, somebody made a video. They put together images of video arcade games, diesel trucks, Tonka trucks, Hong Kong, all my interests. They did a collage of stuff, and they put it to the tune of No One Can Stop You Now. Tonight You're on the Loose. Unfortunately, that video and all that disappeared. Oh, I wish that was still out there. Hey, Pond, where are you? Oh, the red heart necklace? Yeah, I like that one too, Derek. I got that little heart at Lightfoot Walmart years ago when they had that little crafty section. They got rid of all that stuff. If I'd have known that, I would have bought a bunch of those things. More people compliment the heart. Yes, Jennifer. You know why? I don't care what anybody says. Our gen had good music. People say, they all say that. Our generation had good music. A lot of the stuff today, no. Making lamb? Wow, Pond, how rude, and you didn't have me over. Now that hurts. That's really bad, Pond. Because it was real. You could sing to it. You can understand it. I love the song Lady by Styx. I have not learned teleport. Are you going to teach me? Grab my hand through the screen and yank me in. Now that'd be a cool movie like Jumanji. Wonder Twin powers activate. bring Michael to Pennsylvania. Mike, are you live? Not yet. Yeah, Pond, I told people that you have artistic stuff in you and that you need to massage that. Pond, I've had many discussions with her. She is truly a unique person. You don't need to market yourself. Just start making stuff and get your creative juices going and then go from there. What is it? If you build it, they will come. If you make it, they will come. Yeah, Jumanji was cool. Oh, she's got a YouTube. Let me tell you about her YouTube. She was trying to put a condom on a cucumber, and it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. She was saying how the condoms are no good. Oh my gosh. Pod's a trip. I don't think she's building that channel, though. Pond, I'm sorry, but that was funny. That, I was like, and you're laughing so hard, I'm like, this is so messed up. Sorry to shout that out, Pond, but that was funny. Got you, Pond. The reason I met Pond is she used to come in and say hi, and she'd leave a comment, and I clicked on her ID, and I gotta do this. Give me a second. I'm gonna wash this thing and tell you the way it is. She had a little video short that caught my attention. 2 reasons. She did a video that was funny, and then she had one of my favorite one-hit wonders playing, Moonlight Feels Right. Why is it I never remember the name of that band? I have to be reminded every time. They were a one-hit wonder, and it was a good song. Take a trip beside the ocean, da 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 da, tonight. And she did a video where she's going through her bags, and she says, "Let's play, is there a hole in here?" Yep, there's a hole. And she was going through the bags, and I thought it was so funny. So I did a collab with her, and she liked it. Pond, you ought to come here more often. This is a place for mental sanity. Jennifer, I'm glad you showed up. Forgive me, but I'm going to say it. I like the southern gals in here, but I like you northern ones too, because there are things about the north I will always love. The Great Lakes is one of them. One thing I miss about the north, when I lived in Duluth, there was a woman named Gloria. We never dated. She was pretty, and I'd always knock on her door to say hi on my Saturday when I ran the neighborhood. I'd get my laundry done, walk downtown, go to the library, have my little circuit. Stop by Gloria's, we could chat and have tea. She'd always give me a hug. I'd walk in from outside, it'd be freezing cold, and she'd put her arms around me in that long hair, and she would hug me so tight, and she'd go, She said, I love the smell of you. You smell like the Lake Superior air, and you're so fresh. I used to love that. Sarah, you're in Valdosta. Oh no, you're in Ohio now. Jennifer, that'd be awesome because northern people, I will say this, when I make friends with women, man, we could talk into the night. It'd be 25 below. The wind would be blasting from the Alberta Clipper that would come out into Duluth. And you just sit there with the steam radiators and just sit there and have tea and talk into the night. Start getting tired and I'd say, well, guess I better put my boots on and go home. I miss that. That's when people were so real. The 90s was the last of it. I'm here in Georgia. Oh my gosh, I got a text message today from a neighbor. I was shocked. She said she likes to look for artifacts. She goes, I need to get out of the house. And I know you know my love for artifacts, and one of these days, can we go? And I got a metal detector. I said, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do that. Totally all for that. Ladies, you love me, man. When I clean, baby. I clean like a tornado. I could not believe, even though I'm clean, I couldn't believe all the dust bunnies in my room. I even vacuumed the wall by my bed because all the fuzzies get stuck on the dang from the blanket, get stuck on the wood. The woodwork, it's a rough cut wood. I did varnish it, but I take my shop back and I just gently suck the hair off and the fuzzies from the blanket. That's crazy. Blanket fuzz. And on that note, we're going into my room. Colette, how are you feeling today? You got so busy chatting away. You obviously are doing much better. I see you got your what's the word I'm looking for, Colette? You got your oomph back to you. Yeah, I changed the color of that window frame today. I didn't like that pinkish red. So I did what's on the front of the house. And I did that up there too. I like that. I'm going to inset that. In fact, I'm tempted. I am so tempted. I want to do something. I may do a black in here or a gold, or get a small artist brush and do that red just on the, I think that'd look hot. What do you guys think? Hey Samuel, how are you? Oh, these are refinished. I sanded and varnished, but I was thinking about trimming this out just with a two-tone. I did an piece of furniture years ago with, I kept the wood, I sanded the mahogany down, and I did some edging and stuff, and it really came out awesome. I had a gold leaf paint pen. I wish I had that. Oh my gosh, would that look hot? But I don't know. I'm thinking do this and do this in here, and then we'll just bring it all together. I'll have to toy with that because I don't want to mess up that wood. Whatever I do, I want it to go. The red, Jennifer, you leaving me? Thanks for coming in. And have a good evening. The light's going to go out, but it's not your phone. Bear with me. We're going into my room. Oh, yes. It was a dark night in Georgia. And suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. Look at this. I cleaned off my thing, stripped everything down, moved everything, swept it, cleaned it, and bleach mopped it. Feels so much better in here. Shook the dust out of everything. This I gotta clean. I cleaned the top, but I gotta clean these shelves. I'm tired of all this mess. I need to find a dang jewelry drawer instead of this. This is stupid. This is like a pigsty. Spunk. Thank you, Colette. Why am I drawing a blank? Can't even think of the word spunk. It's called old itis. Oh. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Not yet. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Hi, Sherry. How are you? She just mashed into the room. That's one thing they say in Georgia. The black people say it a lot. Like when I drove the bus, they would say, you got to mash the button. Not push the button. You got to mash the button. They say fixing a lot. Well, I'm fixing to leave. I'll see you guys later. It's funny. Every place has its own fingerprint. The Great Lakes is engraved on my heart, though, and I will never leave that. If you could read my mind, love, what a story my thoughts would tell. I don't care what anybody says. Gordon Lightfoot was in a class all his own, and I miss the fact he's gone. Got you, Colette. Well, I'm glad you're here. Pond, I'm glad you're here. Gordon was the bomb. And Pond, when I get done, answer your phone, please. Please? Please? You asked me 99 questions and I need to answer them all in the text the other day. Gordon Lightfoot was incredible. And I'm biased because I love the Edmund Fitzgerald story, but he captured a shipwreck in a way that nobody could with his great ballad. He was outstanding. That guitar, when it fires up, the minute you hear that first opening strain, legend lives on from the Chippewa down on the big lake they call Gitchagumi, with a load of iron ore 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good shipping crew was a bone to be chewed when the skies of November turn gloomy. Do they really? Oh, Jennifer, then I got to listen to that. So he was north of Toronto. You know what bothered me? Patricia and Jen. His leaving the world got very little attention compared to Michael Jackson and Prince. No offense. Michael Jackson had some good music. Prince, not all of it. Gordon Lightfoot, in my opinion, was better. I grew up on him. Hey, Ricardo. Thank you for that. I appreciate that and welcome. Are you leaving? Don't you? You're going to leave to listen to music. You can listen to music all day long and you're going to leave the live to listen to music. Pond, you're a mess. I know. I think Canada made a bigger deal out of it than the US did. I can see her lying back in a satin dress in a room where they do what they don't confess. Sundown, you better take care. if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. All right, Jennifer, have a good evening. Thanks for dropping in. Always come back. Good old Great Lakes has its own culture. Did Gordon have any kids? Take care, Jennifer. Church bell chimed till it chimed 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. In a musty old hall in Detroit, they prayed at the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. I don't remember his age. He had just toured the year before, or did a concert. In fact, he was here. He was here in Augusta, and I don't remember why I didn't buy the tickets. I should have gone. That was just stupid. He was here. I should have gone. One boy, two girls' wife moved to France. Send me a request, Paul. 77 Titanic 77. And then I'll put you in there. I didn't know they did piercings at Walmart back in the day. And my daughter was throwing a fit. Kids, man. Mommy, 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 mommy. What? Hi. Well, thank you, Joseph. We try to have fun here. Me and my loud clothing. I love this shirt. I got to show you. I got a Mayberry shirt today for work. Oh my gosh. $2 for a t-shirt. You can't beat that. Actually, I got this too. James Balmer would love this. He's into all that World War aircraft. I got this shirt. Mount Airy, North Carolina. Mayberry makes me smile. Smile if you love Mayberry. Barney Fife. Isn't that cool? Ricardo? Yeah, and this is the National Museum of World War II Aviation. This is a good cold day shirt in a warehouse. I'd have it under my sweater. The National Museum of World War II Aviation. $2, man. I bought some coat hangers today. 10 for 10. These are decent hangers, too. I was running low on hangers. I need to go through my clothes and get rid of any of that 50-50 stuff. And I'm going to put on my sweatpants because it's cooling off outside. If you could read my mind, love, what a story my thoughts would tell. About a man and a wishing well. Oh, yes. I love my bedroom. It smells so good. And I bought some new Febreze today. I got to try that out. But I've still got this. This stuff, I have to tell you, this is not bad. The white pine and juniper berry, they didn't have any more. Said limited edition. I should have bought more. This stuff smells good. My room smells like a forest. I love it. I'm a guy and I like rooms. I like my house to smell nice. I do not like funky smells. Not at all. Not my cup of tea. And I am going to put on my bedclothes just because it's cool. But I appreciate all of you guys and gals in chat. Very much so. You guys are my community. And it has made a difference. Psychologically, we were not made to be so fiercely independent. We need people. We need God. And I firmly believe that. Troll was even smiling, said, about time you cleaned up the pigsty. You need your hair done, girl. You should take it. Look at that. Now you should straighten yourself out. Look at that. You look like you've been acting up. That's funny. I even changed the backdrop blanket. Thought I'd freshen it up and get it more springy in here. Of course, winter isn't over. And Pa Tuxie, Phil Pod, whatever her name, the groundhog, said 6 more weeks of winter. Febreze, they have gun smoke, really? I need to find that. Does it smell good? Yes, still Derek. Hey, I'm a guy, but I don't like smelly places. I like places smell good. But I will tell you this, ladies, you're going to laugh. I cannot stand Yankee Candle. Now those, woo, some of those stink. They bother me. Looking like little orphan Annie. Yep. Michigan Wolverines, right on. I used to have a Michigan Wolverine shirt. Hey, Miss Honey Babe. Miss Honey Babe, it's very hard to meet people. It's easier to meet people on this than it is out there. Society has changed. And I do believe in some ways society's crumbling. And the internet can be bad, but we can also use it for good. And that's what I aim to do. There's so many trolls and so much hate. But yet we can have something that rises above that. Yeah, those Yankee Candle. I'm talking about not the candles. It's called Yankee Candle. The bathroom sprays. There was one when I was in Colorado and I was taking care of the estate of the people. I said, Ann, what did you spray in the bathroom? Oh, that's that Yankee Candle. I love it. I said, that stuff is terrible. I said, that stuff's making my eyes burn and it is. You don't like it? I said, it is nasty. Oh my gosh, I've never smelled something so horrible. Now, the only Dollar Tree stuff I buy, Derek, is these. These body sprays are pretty good. And they got one for me, Pacific Nights. These things are decent. That smells up my room too. If I don't get it in my eye. Stuff smells pretty decent. I like these. They're mostly for women, but some of these smell good too. Hey, Carol, Tina, Samuel. Hello, Outlaw. Sierra, you can always leave a message on my channel. And if you got Discord, you can message me 77 Titanic 77. Number 77 Titanic 77. It's good, Outlaw. I got a lot done. Got my taxes done. Actually, I have a little something coming back. Last year, I had to pay. Georgia does not take enough out on the W-2s, and it frustrates me. This year, I only had to pay the state $45. I can deal with that. Went to the flea market, but I didn't find any fleas. How was everybody's day? Enough about mine. How'd everybody... Jolly, how are you? And welcome. Sherry Boston is in the house. Working out the technology, man. Shoot, I remember when they used to have Yahoo Chat, and that's all gone. You guys like my pickle truck? I thought I'd change the scenery a little bit too. That's a repro, made just like the 1930s toys. Solid steel with hard rubber tires. I love this. All metal. The real McCoy, man. Flea circus. Happy Valentine's Day, Jolly. Thank you, Sierra. I'll check it. Ricky, that truck is cool. I like old metal trucks, and I cannot lie. You go in the toy section of the dang store today, it's all crap. Plastic, throwaway, disposable crap. My eye zeroes in on old stuff right now. This is the flea market. I saw this. I was like, how much you want for this? $1? Thank you. This is old. This is an old Greyhound Scenic Cruiser. But this was the Texaco, Texas Pipeline crew bus. This stuff, you can't find this stuff. Now this, I think they made this like in the 70s or 80s. The cruise ships. A bathtub toy. Yeah, 70, exactly, Paul, that's it. When I was a kid, you saw these all over America, the real original Winnebago motorhome. Anybody remember these things? They were distinct as all get out. Had a big W on the side, Winnebago. This is Tootsie Toy. It's funny, it says camper. They don't put Winnebago because they didn't want to get into copyright infringement. But that is a Winnebago. Made for a throwaway society. That's right, Tina. Girls had cool toys when I was a kid. We boys teased the girls, but look, even we enjoyed the Betty Crocker Easy Bake Oven because if we were nice to girls, they made us stuff. Yep, the Winnies. That's weird, Paul. I don't understand that. Sierra, you found me, right? I remember when I was a kid, I went from Mammoth Lakes to California as a kid by myself on one of these. Big old black cloud behind the bus. The old Greyhounds. This is by Buddy L. Made in Macau, and I have been in Macau several times. Hot Wheels and Matchbox, or the Hot Wheels used to be made over there back in the 80s. Do you, baby Ghosty? These things are cool. Hold on to it, man. Oh, you didn't space them apart, did you, Paul? 77 Titanic 77. It's all together. There's no spaces. Maybe that's why. This is very old. This is as old as I am right here. This is about 67 when the real Jeep pickups were made. Tonka made a Jeep series. This is a little mixer and it actually works and dumps and everything. This is in very good shape. You can tell that this thing wasn't played with in the yard. Anything that was played with in the yard is dented, bashed, and rusted, parts missing. Just the fact the glass is intact. This is in remarkable shape. Tonka is ridiculous. Happy Valentine's Day, baby Ghosty. Baby Ghosty, these things were the favorite. When it was Christmas, give me Tonkas. That's all I wanted. I wanted a toy steel truck. I found this recently at the flea market. I think I paid $15 for this. The stickers have taken a beating, but here's the actual. Y'all remember when they had these in real life? The 67 Jeep pickup. They were full size. What I wouldn't give to have one of those today. Very cool trucks. Tailgate opens up. It's got the very hard rubber tires. No, I think he's got $20 on it. Still got the sticker, $20. These things were cheap when I was a kid. Now you find these and man, if they got the original box, big money. Yep, boys used to die to play with toy trucks back then. Kids have no interest in this stuff. Zero. All they would do is wreck it. Stamped steel, man. Made in America. The true American toy. Shoot, I even have this. In the 80s or the 90s, because I started driving a school bus, I started collecting anything school bus. I found that at the flea market for a couple bucks. Little minibus. Who made this? I don't even know who made this thing. It's not stamped. Wait a minute. What does that say? No. some off-brand. It's not stamped with anybody's name on it. That's weird. Yeah, I did too, Chance. These were not from my childhood. I bought these over the years. I pretty much wrecking balled everything I had. I was pretty hard on stuff as a kid. These are 1/18 scale die-cast replicas. They don't play with these. These were just models, but if I could have a truck today restored, it'd be that one right there. Drop a 350 in that. Dual exhaust, straight pipes out into the back. Some Flow Masters. Yeah. You start that truck. Wow. Yeah, that's what I want. This is about a 1960. What is this? 1966. Gosh, when I was a kid, these things were everywhere. This was America's truck. Yeah, I like Ford too. I had a 66 Ford in Colorado. I wish I'd have held on to that. Do you really? Big Chevy? That's awesome. Yeah, you know what I liked? What I loved about this style here was the indent that ran all the way down the front or down the side, all the way around the hood. They made trucks with a style. The new Chevy Silverados, look at the way they're put together. They look like a Pinewood Derby block car that didn't get finished carving. Oh, wow, Sierra. She's born the same year I was. Wow. That's sobering. Yeah, these are fun. I remember my 62 Chevy had the coil springs in the back. It was very unique suspension. This here is another favorite of mine. What year is this? 79 Ford F100. No, this was an F-150. 79 Ford. See a lot of these today fixed up. These are nice. Yep, this was cool. That was a good truck. Nope, they don't build the trucks the same. I'd rather they go back to building this than what they're putting out today. They're just not the same. They don't have a full-size bed. You don't get an 8-foot bed anymore. Now you got an extended cab. They cut off the bed. What's the point? You can't put a piece of sheetrock in it. Drywall, there's 2x4 stud. You know, they got to hang out the gate. Crazy stuff. All right, let's see how smart everybody is. Test time. Anybody remember this? Still got it. Oh my gosh, I miss my hair. I miss my hair. This is almost criminal. My 3 years of Georgia with my sun-bleached mullet. Wow, Carol. Yes, Jolly. That's what's left of my mullet. Mr. E-Rock. Oh, gosh, you're a mess. I don't know where you heard that. That must have been from CNN. Fake news. Fake news. Mr. E-Rock, I went on a cleaning binge today. Turned my whole room upside down. Took all the clothing off here. Beat the pillows. Dusted and swept. Moved all the furniture. Mopped. I went through this house like a tornado today. And I even repainted the kitchen windowsill, trimmed the outside red instead of that pinkish red. I didn't like that. I'm Irish. That's all I know. You sent friends to the channel? Well, thank you, Paul. Remember, I miss my long hair. I have to be honest with you. I miss it. I felt more comfortable in my skin with it. I washed it every day. It was clean. But it was getting frizzy because of the humidity. Mystery Rock, we've had 2 weeks of ice and weather. I was lazy. Today I got a fire under my butt and it felt good. And, I took a nice Epsom salt bath. You know, the Queen Mary had hot and cold saltwater faucets as well as fresh water in the staterooms. I'm going to tell you, salt water is very underrated. It is so good for the body. And it cleans out your drain. I noticed that. You're all Irish too? Irish is the way to be, folks. Proud to be Irish. Oh, Carol, it started, I'd lean over and I'd get into my move. I had to watch over my plate. Yo, I'm letting it grow now. From what I cut it, by spring, it'll have a little bit more length to it. Not spring, but by May. Saltwater, prolonged saltwater is not good, but an Epsom salt bath is good for the body. I don't know if it's just placebo. I don't think it is, but I think that the Epsom salt does something. It relaxes me. I don't go to sleep, but I kind of take, with my eyes open, I take a bit of a cat nap. I got my head up where I won't drown. You're not going to slide down in there, but oh, it just feels so good in that. I was made for the water. I was made for the water. I heard Atlantic City was cool back in the day. Yes. And I like the steam room for that too. Hey, Warthog, ¿cómo está acá? It is morning time in the Philippines. And it is already Sunday morning. Happy Sunday, Warthog. It's still Valentine's Day over here. Irish Riviera, Rockaway, Queens, New York. It was sticky. Wait a minute. You're 5 hours ahead. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're 12:45. You're on tomorrow. Did you give your lover a Valentine, Warthog? Yes, Sierra. Well, hello, Jamie. How are you? Where's Raphael? Where's the other turtles, man? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Where are the rest of them? Yeah, Carol, I'm not into all that. I've never been to a strip club and I don't want to go. I mean, I like women, but I'm not going to a strip bar. Not my thing. Now a surfing place in Queens. Sticky. Sticky. I'll see, Paul. I can't do it on the live right now, but most likely check it in the morning. And if you're there, I'll let you know one way or the other. Yeah, Jamie, that is kind of part of the Christian life, isn't it? The flesh and the spirit. Hello, Summer. How are you? I had a kid on my bus in Duluth. He was special needs, but he was a good kid in high school. He loved Leonardo and Raphael and Michelangelo. He loved the turtles. He would talk about them every day when I drove the kids home. He liked dinosaurs and teenage turtles. I like Jackson's music. I think he was a disturbed man towards the end of his life. I am good. Fact, how are you? FCT, rather. I called you Fact. FCT, how are you doing? Sometimes I've learned that God just kind of gives you, when I hit an impasse, like when I was trying to figure out things throughout the course of my remodel, I'd stress. I'm like, I do not know how I'm going to get that done. And I'd just say, forget it. We're not going to worry about it. And one day I'd wake up and all of a sudden it just like clicked. And I had the energy and I'm like, all right, I'm busting the wall open. The window's going in there. We're doing it today. We're going to start early. We're going to get it done. I'm going to get the window in. I'll put the outside trim on it. I'm going to caulk it. I'm going to paint it and get it ready for tomorrow's rain. Boom. And I just like, God, you do that. He just suddenly infuses you with that burst when it's time. Was it the media? I mean, Jackson, he struggled. He didn't want to be black skin. He tried to make it white. He fiddled with his nose and damaged it. I've noticed that men, if we're not careful, we get strange when we get old, especially if you're alone. I was listening to Christian radio the other day. They were talking about Howard Hughes and how eccentric he was. He went into a room for 6 months and peed on himself and didn't shower and just was a pig and wrote about whatever. I'm like, why do rational people do stuff like that? If I can't take care of myself, I've said, God, if it gets to the point I can't wipe my own butt and clean myself, feed myself, it's time to go. I don't want to be dead weight for somebody or anybody. But guess what? I don't get to make that choice. God does. What area code is 619? I forgot to click. War dog. Oh, San Diego. I don't want to lose your love tonight. I just want to use your love tonight. Who sang that? Can't remember the name of that group. They played out on Bob FM a lot. San Diego. You are my hiding place, oh Lord. John Michael Talbot, one of the best. Outfield, yes. Anybody ever heard of Patty Hearst and Hearst Castle? Anybody know that story? I never did see Hearst Castle. I had a friend in high school, Lisa, that loved Hearst Castle. She showed me pictures. A beautiful mansion. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Sierra, and I hope you get good news. And if you do not, keep your head up. All right? Keep your head up. Pray to God. Tell him about your struggle and ask him to help you provide for your work. Jamie, you're a mess. Combine Valentine's and April Fool's Day. Hey, E-Rock, did you and Amber go on date night tonight? Newspaper owner, that's right, Sherry. Did we find anything out about Guthrie? Did they find that woman yet? Poor little rich girl, Patty. Yes, Jamie, there was. Some weird, shady stuff. Nothing yet. You got a good wife, E-Rock. She loves you. And I know you love her. Even if she does have that cat you can't stand. E-Rock was telling me that the cat is destroyed. Did he destroy the frame of the door or the door itself? Cats show up in my backyard all the time and I like to watch them, but they're not coming in. No animals in here. Door frame molding scratched it all to heck. Happy Valentine's Day, Summer. Oh, you like my little friend? She stays the same every day. My little troll. Cyndi Lauper. You got a cat and a dog. You ever seen that cartoon, Cat Dog? They're very hard to find. I had a bunch of them from when I drove the school bus in Minnesota. The kids would give them to me. I don't know why. These kids would say, "Here, bus driver, this reminds me of you." One high school kid gave me one with the camo, the red hair, and the magazine clip and the gun. And that was pretty cool. Then a little kid on my elementary route gave me one with no clothes, one of the small ones, scribbled all over the butt, scribbled under the arms, and drew boobies on it. "Here, bus driver, I wanted you to have this." I'm like, "Thanks, that's awesome." Sheesh. Kids, man. Kids. My kitty shredded my front door, Mom. Sherry. Hi, David. Tom and Jerry, man. I used to love watching Tom and Jerry. I had this kid on the bus. I told this story. He's a small little boy. He was the last one off, and he would stand up in the back of the bus. "Bus driver, look!" "Yeah, dinosaur." And he'd hold up. "No, look!" I said, "Yeah, T-Rex." What I didn't know is he took a toothpick and shot it, stuffed it through the head of this little stuffed T-Rex. I couldn't see it all the way back there, a 40-foot bus. We get to his house, open the door. I said, "Why do you keep showing me the dinosaur?" "Because you couldn't see it." And he rammed I said, "Why'd you put the toothpick through the head?" "Because it's funny. I don't like it." I said, "Get off my bus, boy." Jeez. I remember one time I had a route that went along the edge of Lake Superior outside Duluth. And it's winter and it's cold and, and this boy would get on. Little tiny guy. I'm going down the North Shore Highway, 55 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, something catches my eye. I look up in the mirror. He's standing on the top of the seat back, got his hands. I said, "Boy, what are you doing?" Man, he about fell down, jumped down in the seat. I stopped. I said, "What are you doing back here?" "I'm going 55, and if I slam on the brakes, where do you think you're going to end up? Now set your butt in that seat." And the kid said, "Man, he always acting up at school too, mister." I said, "I believe it." One day he brought his damn cat on the bus. I get all the way to Lester Park, actually before, and somebody starts yelling, and they're like, "Mike, stop, there's a cat in here." I said, "What?" When I picked up, his name was Kyle. And he stands so still, and he'd wear this jacket, and he'd be standing in the snow off the side of the road, and he looked like a fire hydrant. And that's how I knew he was out there. I'm like, fire hydrant. He'd get on the bus. "Good morning, Kyle." And he didn't say hi. He had this sheepish, crap-eating grin on his face. And I said, "Okay, not going to speak today, huh?" Goes to the back of the bus. Well, he had this overcoat on. He had the cat in there. Let the cat loose in the bus. It's 25 below zero. Kids start yelling, "There's a cat." And I got, 50 kids on there? I said, "Everybody calm down. Don't scare the cat, please." The cat was running under the seat, scared crapless with all the feet and kids, the heaters and the noise. I got on the two-way. I said, "Yeah, I need a principal to meet me at Lester Park. Kid snuck his cat on the bus, and I don't want to open the door and the cat take off. 10-4, we'll have a principal meet your bus, Michael." Principal comes to the door. She's looking at me outside the frosted window, shaking her head. And I cracked the door. I said, "When I open it, step on. There's a cat in here." She gets on, I slam the door. She goes, who brought it? I said, Kyle. She put her hand on her hips at the end of that aisle and said, you know, I got to call your mother from downtown and she's going to have to get that cat and it's 25 below. What were you thinking, young man? I don't know. And the kid in the back says, yeah, Kyle, that was dumb. Kids, man. Every day, get on. I said, what else you got in there? You got a giraffe today? No. You got a hamster in there? No. Elephant? I'd give him a hard time. Better not be sneaking no more animals on the bus. Tito boy lets him out. Oh, you know, I tell these stories now and I laugh. She was able to get the cat. She had to get a jacket, grab the cat and wind it up in there so she wouldn't get all scratched. The cat was just hysterical. There had 50 kids on the bus going down the road in that diesel bus, all that noise, that cat just like, I mean, feral at that point. Jeez. Breeder, what is that? Burrito feet kitty? Poor kitty. Yes, it's funny. I can remember the names of the kids that stood out years after the fact. I had a kid on the bus. His first name was Steven. That kid was a pain in the butt. Birchwood Elementary. He's beyond adult years now. Smart aleck kid, ran his mouth, act up every day, would argue. I said, young man, what is your problem? If you notice this whole bus is good and you want to light it up, I turned him in. I got called into the office and they said, you know, that kid's dad is blind. So he basically watches himself. I said, you're kidding me. They said, yeah, we can't kick him off the bus because dad can't get him. I said, so he's using that as leverage. I said, good. Well, he'll be permanently assigned the front of the bus. I tell you what, you learn a lot about psychology of children when you drive buses for 20 years in 4 states. Some very interesting things show up. The kids that grew up in well-adjusted homes were your greatest riders. The others, not necessarily. Band kids were the best. Wasabi taco tea. Mr. 2 times, you better behave. Otto from The Simpsons. Kids who weren't banned on the high school route never gave me trouble. They were mature. They rode the bus. They had adult, mature conversations. I love band students. I had a route in the afternoon that had a bunch of hockey players on it. They were rough. They would get in fights with each other. I'm driving down the road. It's snowing to beat the band. You can't see. And I go to stop, and the kids are fighting. I say, hey, y'all see what it's doing out here? Why don't you take that out? Here's your stop. Get off. Go out there and fight all day. Don't do it on my bus. Classic Minnesota. They just stare at you for a second and sit down. Thank you. We don't need to do that in here. Aren't you guys on the same team in hockey? Why are you beating each other up? They didn't want to get banned from band camp. Oh my gosh. They were just aggressive. The hockey kids would light it up. One year they had a bunch of buses go down for state. And then East High School made state in hockey. And one of our drivers rode as a chaperone because her daughter was in the high school there, and they all went on a fan bus. And the kids got so rowdy, they broke one of the back windows out. Then one kid started to pull his pants down to moon somebody. And she said, "Excuse me, I'm an adult. Put your pants on, boy." And the kid about crapped himself. "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. You didn't know. You got girls on you. Why are you pulling your pants down?" Jeez. Other drivers told me stories when they had the girls' basketball that the girls would like to change on the bus on the road trips. And it was not uncommon for the girls to hold the towel blocking the aisle while the girl would duck down and change out her shirt into her jersey. And there were times when the girl would stand up and go like this and say, "Look, driver." Now, that never happened to me. If it did, no matter what, I have to turn that crap in. And they would the drivers told me, "Mike, you know how many times I used to do the basketball and they flashed me?" I said, "In Minnesota." Wow. Okay. 295 kids. Jamie, where were you? That's definitely small town. Why would a driver pick a fight with the kids? I would always try to disarm these kids. 23, Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. Okay. Wow, my stomach had to have the last word on that one. Man, I got stories. I did it. Baseball trips with the boys. They'd fart all the way back. They'd sit there and light it up. It'd be too cold to open the windows. I told the coach, I said, "Is it just me or are you getting tired of that?" He goes, "No." "Hey, driver and I just had a talk. One of you guys light it up one more time. We're going to stop and let you out. You can walk and fart all the way back to Duluth, and he and I will go home." "Sorry, coach." Tee. Oh my gosh. Green splatters. That same group, I'd left Duluth on a Friday afternoon. They played a ball game. Went to the hotel Saturday, get up. Oh my gosh. Coach wanted me to take him to the Burger King in St. Cloud. So they grabbed their breakfast. Right next door to Burger King was an old house, and this lady was having a yard sale. "Coach, yard sale!" And he just looks at me. Oh gosh, that poor lady. I said, "Yeah, a bunch of high school kids are going to crash her house." They all went to the yard sale and they bought stuff. One of the kids bought a pair of mesh pants and a mesh shirt. Got on the bus, and one of his friends says, "What'd you buy those for? Those are totally gay." Mesh pants. I'm like, mesh pants? He puts them on with his underwear on, stands up. "Coach, you like my mesh pants and mesh shirt?" He turns around and looks. He says, I can't believe I took a coaching position to see that. He looked at me, said, I think at this point, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know who these guys are. I said, Gus Mesh Pants, I'm with you, coach. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Stories and stories of crazy stuff. No, I pulled into Burger King. They ran right next door to the house and they bought a bunch of crap from the lady. She was tickled pink. They're all live streams. I just turn off the chat when I'm getting on a topic and don't want to be interrupted. Hey, Tony, how are you? Happy anniversary. I mean, Valentine's Day. Ray City, Georgia. I haven't heard of that. Hi, Ethan. Tony, how are you? Carol. I remember I did girls hockey. That was something else. How's your night on this capitalist holiday with no historical significance? Nikki said it had something to do historically with something way back. I forgot what she told me. You were trolling yourself the other day, Carol? That's awesome. Shoot, there ain't nothing wrong with giving love on Valentine's Day. Everybody needs a little love. The Valentine's Day massacre, really? The massacre of the heart. Total eclipse of the heart. Every now and then I get a Valentine's Day was the end of a war or something. Or the beginning of one. Yes, Tennessee. Sometimes boys are funny. Sometimes they're not funny. I remember Saturday morning, I picked up the Central High football team, had to go 60 miles away to Virginia, Minnesota, where I ended up living many years later. And we were going up Highway 53. And the sky was so black and dark. And the coach leaned forward. He said, if you feel at any time you need to pull over, we need to go into a shelter, let me know. I said, I'm watching the sky. Because I know, I'm looking for green and yellow in the coloring of the clouds. He goes, I don't even like this. He said, they said on the news today, there's a tornado warning. I said, yeah, I'm looking at that. Nothing happened. We got to the school. They played the game, and all that black stuff went away, but it was ugly. I remember looking over the treetops and it was black. They didn't happen up there like in central and southern, but they still had the warnings. I mean, the further north you go, much less. What they did have in northern Minnesota was microbursts. They had them in Colorado too, where this big downblast wind will just flatten an entire forest. And it's not a tornado. It's just a microburst of air that just goes and just obliterates the forest. No, not at all, David. Not at all. Can you imagine being on an airplane when that happens? You're done. Well, folks, I think I'm going to hit it. Thank you for coming. Happy Valentine's Day. That's right, Sherry. You guys have a good evening, and thanks for coming out. Thanks for the likes. And be safe, everybody. Till next time. Yeah, I believe that, David. You too, Carol. All right, everybody.